And I'm particularly happy to make the first presentation because it is to a colleague who I've known for many, many years, Bill Hutchinson. And Bill was really responsible for seeding the idea of iCanada. He's been engaged in the community for 30 years. He's created organizations. He's found the time to be creative and innovative and really take us closer to being a prosperous Canada. So I can't think of anyone more fitting to receive a Jubilee Medal Award. So Bill, if you could come to the stage, it would be my honor to present the first award to you.
Well, you know, this might look a little fixed, but it really isn't. I was, for a couple of reasons. First of all, somehow my name was on the letter that went out to all the winners, included me as a winner, and honestly, I had no idea, and I was overwhelmed because it's a very important award. But we have many others that are here this evening as well, who are very deserving, having contributed to Canadian society. And it's my pleasure then to be giving out the rest of the awards. And so we're going to start. And I'm just going to get this all organized here and get myself organized. And I'm going to move. Where'd you go? There we are. The only reason I'm pausing is we had a little change in sequence here. So, Michael Webb. And while Michael's coming up, let me just give you a bit of background. He has dedicated himself to advancing the effectiveness and efficiency of public safety in Canada. Practices and public safety is a very key area that Michael, I know, has been very involved in over the years. Vice President of Technology of ECOM 9/11. And he's led the whole development of our emergency telecommunications infrastructure. So it's a real pleasure for me to offer this award. And we'll go and stand at the yellow line. It's like the stage, you know. So we can get the pictures. And we'll get a picture right there. You got to see that. Good. The camera's going to get tired. Camera's going to get tired of me. Okay. This gentleman has a tremendous background in the creative arts and the creative side of things. Bent Jorgen. And he's created and still leads Canada's most active ballet company, bringing professional level dance to ordinary citizens in communities across the country. As Canada's local ballet company, Ballet Jorgen is called, originally out of the Casaloma dancing, and I think maybe still using it as a facility, but he's been a real pioneer in the whole ballet and dance world in Canada, and he's also worked tirelessly to create tonight's outstanding performance that you will see later as well. So great to give you this award. And wait till you see this performance tonight, it'll blow you away. Brian Bronfman. Brian has been very involved in social causes in Canada for many years. President of the Brian Bronfman Foundation, which supports 20 different social causes and charities. He's pioneered a focus on pragmatic peace. So he's been really working on the whole peace issue for many years. And he's structured many interesting and innovative approaches for education, community activity, and involvement. And it's a real pleasure, Brian. one of my favorite mayors. I always have to say one of my favorite mayors, but certainly one of the group of very innovative mayors in Canada. Brenda Callaghan has helped Waterloo solidify its position as one of Canada's premier technology super zones with a global reputation for science, technology, and research. Under Mayor Callaghan, Waterloo achieved Most Intelligent Community status in 2008. Brenda? I'm not going to take your hand. Brenda Pastorek, Chief Operating Officer of North Forge Innovations, guides the financial and operational growth of the company that provides jobs for Canadian high-tech workers from global clients in the software and networking fields, and has done an amazing job on that and on other contributions to Canadian society as well. Brenda? Dr. Catherine Boivin. Catherine is the founding president of the CIO Association of Canada and a pioneer in developing the teamwork that leads to collaborative exploration and exploitation of new fields of endeavor. She's also an experienced volunteer organizer who has been helpful in our CATA Women in Technology movement. Very involved, and I know how much you like to get involved in many things. Catherine? Another doctor, one of my favorite doctors, Dr. Cindy Gordon, one of Canada's most knowledgeable social media leaders. She volunteers her leadership and skill in many, many endeavors to advance Canadian growth. Chairing the crowdfund investing now that's so important to Canada in the future, she's generated all kinds of ideas for creating new capital and new approaches to capital. She's also a vice chair of iCanada, and many, many other things, and chairman and CEO of her own company, Helix International. Cindy. Another doctor, I'm not going to hug him though, Darren Graham. Darren is president and CEO of Orion, Ontario's premier high-speed communications network, the research and education network for Ontario. He's provided the infrastructure to supercharge our research and education activities in Canada. He's been very involved in innovation in Canada for many years, went off to New Zealand to show them how to do it, and then came back to this job. He's also on the board of Savvy, a cloud research program, multi-university, multi-year project led by the University of Toronto, and we're both on that board together as well. Darren, it's a real pleasure. Oh, another one of my favorite mayors, Dan Mathieson. Dan has helped to connect Stratford to itself and to the world. There you go, internal and external, creating high-speed communications systems and attracting a local campus of the University of Waterloo that was just opened the other day, a whole tremendous new digital media campus. He's transitioning traditional sectors into the information age and really doing a fabulous job building on the cultural and communications background of Stratford. And it has been in the top 7 finals of the Intelligent Community of the Year for 2 years in a row. Dan? David Jonah. David is an unsung hero of Canada's Atlantic economy. That's just because we didn't hear about them in Toronto. Somebody put that in there. He's sung in Atlantic Canada, of course. Establishing one of the earliest of the recycling centres, leading development of weekly newspapers there, and latterly creating a top-flight organization for exploiting digital communications. David, it's a real pleasure. Fawn Anan. Fawn leads the staff of writers, editors, designers who cover Canada's digital information ecosystem. She's created Canada's largest information technology business portal, establishing a unified information community across the country, has been a real force in the communications side, the public communications side of the IT industry, and supported it for, I'm not going to say many, many years, for many years. But a real veteran of the whole industry. Fawn? That's great. Gary Stairs. Gary is one of the chief strategists behind New Brunswick's emergence onto the national Canadian stage as the province to follow for the digital age. He's been at it for a long time, and he's been very successful. He's greatly enhanced the province's reputation as the model of successful development. Gary, it's a real pleasure. Williamon. Has been very active in the technology industry over the years. She's helped lead Quebec's technology resurgence over the past 2 decades. A journalist, project manager, creative director, and alliance founder, she's created a network of star CEOs and experts who are transforming the province. She's also our iCanada lead and CADA's lead in the province of Quebec, and it's a great pleasure we get. James Van Loon. You'll see we're covering all of Canada here. James is a pioneer in the application of advanced infrastructures to communities of all sizes. A practical advisor, as well as a passionate champion in the development of rural communities, he has transformed many lives through high-tech applications based in Alberta, but in terms of social networks, he's all over the world. Congratulations. Here's a guy that's probably older than I am, or he's close. I don't know if you need any canes or anything to get up here, John. John Kelly, my longtime friend. John is one of Canada's most respected technology statesmen, winning acclaim as High Technology Citizen of the Year, Master Entrepreneur of the Year, Most Respected CEO, Civic Entrepreneur of the Year, and Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser. He makes his home in Ottawa, but he's been all over the world in the industry and truly a statesman. John. Jim Grassman. Jim has more than 30 years of experience in building entrepreneurial organizations. He's developed many rapid growth companies. He's a real entrepreneur. Been involved. His company now is ET Group. It's one of the leading new digital media companies, very involved in new advances in video technology. And he's also involved in leading a strategic growth cluster in Ontario. He's from Newmarket. He's been in their economic council and done a ton of volunteer work and been a real supporter for iCanada as well. Jim, it's a real pleasure. Jim Roche. Jim is president and CEO of Canary, a successful entrepreneur himself with over 25 years of leadership experience. He was a founding member at Newbridge Networks when they were created, now Alcatel-Lucent, and CEO of Tundra Semiconductors. He now oversees the expansion of Canary, Canada's flagship ultra-high-speed network. Jim, it's a real pleasure. Well, now, here's my old boss. There was no skullduggery in making this happen. John Campbell. John is president and CEO of Waterfront Toronto, one of the world's largest development projects, an urban revitalization, I would say. And he's played a leadership role, and he's still surviving in the development of many prestigious properties, such as BCE Place in Toronto, construction of $1.2 billion award-winning projects there for now nearly 12 years, or more than 10. He's up to 10 anyway. He's been the president and CEO of Waterfront Toronto, dealt with numbers of mayors in Toronto. We won't mention any names. And he's spearheading this project that is 6 times the size of Canary Wharf. It's a massive project, and it's a real pleasure. John Longbottom. John is IBM's Smart Cities leader. He's a senior business executive who has created consortia that deliver unified and networked communities across Canada. He's an expert in social and business benefits of information technology, and it's been a real pleasure for me to work with John over the last few years in particular, because IBM has been, as many of you know, a great supporter, diamond sponsor for iCanada as well. So, John, it's a real pleasure. Karen Dobuh. Woo, woo, woo. Karen is Vice President of the Newmarket Chamber of Commerce and Chair of a multi-community stakeholder group that she has been evolving over the years, a tremendous job, dedicated to advancing a regional broadband strategy and an intelligent community strategy in the, I'll call it the greater Newmarket area, just for this, Aurora won't like that, but really within the York region, and has been doing a tremendous job, and we've worked together a bit on some things, and it's great to have you. Congratulations.